Brian Powell of I Run Far here with Kerrie Bruxvoort before Speedgoat 50k. How you doing, Kerrie?
Doing good. Thanks, Brian.
This is your first video interview here with I Run Far, so
it is.
We'd love to take this chance to get to know your background a little bit more. You've got two wonderful kids here, and
yeah, got the whole family here this time.
Stay busy with them.
I do, absolutely, yeah.
But what's your running background or your athletic background?
My athletic background? You know, I actually grew up playing soccer.
Okay.
I played soccer my whole life, and then I ran cross country in high school, but mostly ran recreationally through college, and played intramural soccer, and just always ran to keep in shape.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of got interested in marathons and longer distances as I got a little bit older, and then after having kids, I decided to hit the trails.
Yeah.
And that's where I kind of decided that I had a little bit of a niche, and I was a little better at the trails and the steep stuff. And I obviously had a love for the outdoors, and that kind of played into it too as far as success.
When and where did that happen? When you started hitting the trails?
Gosh. You know, when my kids, after having kids, they started preschool. And we actually lived in Phoenix for 5 years.
Okay.
So I would hit Squaw Peak with the kids on the back.
Okay.
One child on the back while the other one was in school, and climb Squaw Peak with a little extra weight. And then once they both started preschool, I did it without the kids and thought, wow, this is a little easier and a lot more fun, and I could go farther. And
you started running then?
Started running, and I would run laps on Squaw Peak. I mean, just over and over again, and just got really strong on that. And then that played into road or flatter trail as far as speed goes, and I fell in love with it. When
did you start sort of looking to race competitively at the shorter distance trail stuff?
Last year, when I entered one of my first races. It was in Mesquite Canyon in Phoenix. It was my first ultra. I broke the course record by like an hour of some local women that lived in Phoenix. And we moved back to the Boulder area. We live in Broomfield, and I do a lot of training there, and kind of just ramped up my training, and just had some success early, and I just went with it. So yeah. I love it.
You've had some awesome success. I mean, I don't remember the exact stats, but pretty much first or second in every sub 100-mile race you've run.
Pretty much, yeah.
50 mile, 50K.
Ultras, yeah, I think so. I can't think exactly, but yeah, first or second.
And
it's been awesome.
You ran last year. Last year you ran like 5:27, I think 30 at Golden Gate Dirty 30, and this year you ran almost exactly the same time, a couple seconds faster.
I did, and I had a really terrible day.
Okay.
So I actually went a little crazy with caffeine that day. I decided, I think actually I read something that you wrote, that you took Excedrin in an ultra.
I have taken
for the caffeine. So I thought, so I had coffee in the morning, and then I had a couple of Excedrin before. I was like, oh, that might give me a little, something. And then I had the gels were caffeinated. So by the time I was on the first climb, I was like shaking. And I had no power in my legs. I was a mess. And
save those Excedrin for the 100 milers.
Yeah.
But mile 50, two would do you some good. Yeah.
So after that, I kind of cut back on caffeine and almost completely. And so
gotcha.
We're gonna.
So you feel like you're in much better fitness.
I feel like exactly. Having such a rough day and still having the same time. That was a good measure of my fitness, because I really struggled.
Yeah.
So.
Obviously, you just had Western States a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
A rough day out there.
Yeah.
But
it was rough.
Were you concentrating on that, I assume, with your training this spring, or?
Yep. I did 2 back-to-back 50s, pretty close together, kind of as training for that. The Quad Rock and Zane Grey, and those are pretty long 50s to get me in shape for that. And then, I'd never run 100 before, so I was just hoping to get some good 50-mile training in, and then just get out there and see what happened. I actually physically felt great. I just had a few little niggles and some injury type things that happened, and my quads too.
Yeah.
The quads, yeah. People tell you, but you don't really know until you experience Western. That
the second time you do it, you're a little more prepared for that. I'm
going to actually run some downhills if I do it again, for sure.
So what have you done have you done anything specifically to prepare for Speedgoat?
In between, it's hard when your races are close together because you don't have a lot of time to taper and then build back up. I actually was really tired after Western, just drowsy and sleepy for a couple weeks. And then I've put in a couple 20-milers and a few repeats on hills on Sanitas, and I'm just hoping that my fitness from beforehand and from Western can carry me through tomorrow, and Yeah.
Do you think you can improve your second last year here? Do you think you can improve in your time and place?
Yeah, I think I can for sure. Yeah. Last year I was brand new to Solomon, and I had just gotten a new pair of shoes, my very first, and so I struggled a little bit. They were brand new with that, just kind of on the steeper stuff. I didn't wear a real grippy shoe, so I learned my lesson with that, and I just think hopefully my fitness level is a little, and my experience level is a little bit more now than it was last year.
What shoes are you going to go with then tomorrow?
I wear the Velcross, and I love them. They're a little bit more of a hardcore shoe.
We're an active snowbird here.
Oh, go ahead.
Go through?
Yeah, come on through.
Sorry, I didn't even...
No problem. Is there another one? So they're a little bit more hardcore shoe, and they've got, they don't have a rock plate, but they have a nice heavy bottom that, and then they have a good grip, and they're real flexible, and they have a real low drop on them, so that's what I like to wear.
Cool. Well, best of luck out there tomorrow.
Thank you very
Have fun.
much. Yeah, thanks, Brian.